in this video I will talk about selective mutism disorder and provide you with some strategies to manage the disorder. Selective mutism is an anxiety disorder that can occur in children, often in social situations where they consistently fail to speak or communicate verbally despite being fully capable of doing so in other contexts. It's not exclusive to children with autism. Children with selective mutism may be able to communicate and speak comfortably in family environments or with familiar people, but they may become silent and unresponsive in situations where they feel anxious or uncomfortable. The presence of unfamiliar people, new environments, or even changes in routine can trigger their anxiety and silence. Here are some strategies that can help you manage the selective mutism in children with autism. First, systematic desensitization. Gradually expose to anxiety-induced situations in a controlled and supportive manner that can help desensitize this child and reduce anxiety over time. For example, create a hierarchy of anxiety-inducing situations based on their level of difficulty. Start with situations that cause mild anxiety and gradually progress to more challenging scenarios. This can look as follows. Looking at a group of classmates from distance, participating in a small group activity with familiar classmates, sharing a short story or opinion in small group, giving a short presentation to the class, attending a school event and engaging with new peers. Start with the least anxiety-provoking situation, which may involve the child simply observing a group of classmates from distance. This can be done during a counseling session or in a controlled environment at home. Gradually expose the child to each situation on the hierarchy, maintaining a supportive and understanding atmosphere. Use techniques like debriefing, positive self-talk, and relaxation exercises to help the child manage anxiety during exposure. With each exposure session, encourage the child to stay in the anxiety-induced situation until the anxiety reduces. Over time, the repeated exposure helps desensitize the student to the triggers, leading to reduced anxiety reactions. Second, shaping. Reinforcing and gradually increasing communication efforts can help children move from nonverbal behavior, like gestures, to spoken communication. For example, start with the child's initial communication behavior. Pointing. When the child points to indicate a need or desire, respond by repeating the target word or phrases such as snack in a clear and encouraging tone. Immediately provide positive reinforcement by offering a small piece of the child's favorite snack. Over time, require the child to make a slightly closer approximation to the target word or phrase before receiving the reinforcement. For instance, if the child initially points to request more cookies, gently encourage the child to make a vocalization that sounds like cookie. As the child vocalization become more similar to the targeted word, which is cookie, provide increased praise and rewards for closer approximation. Reinforce even slight progress toward the desired vocalization, gradually shaping the child's behavior by raising expectations. Third, use exposure therapy. This involves gradually exposing the child to anxiety-provoking situations while teaching them coping skills to manage anxiety. For example, after an assessment of the child, begin with a situation that causes minimal anxiety, such as one-on-one interaction with a familiar teacher or staff member. Explain to the child that you will work together to face the situation and that they can use their coping skills to manage their anxiety. Provide praise, rewards, or positive feedback for the child's efforts and progress after each exposure session. Let the child know that facing their fears is an achievement. By gradually exposing the child to anxiety-provoking situations while teaching the child coping strategies, you can help them overcome selective mutism and increase their comfort with verbal communication in social settings. Fourth, role-playing. Practicing social interactions and communication through role-playing can help children gain confidence and reduce anxiety. For example, you will set up a safe and supportive environment for the role-play activity. This could be a quiet corner of the room where the child feels comfortable. You will discuss with the child and find a topic that the child is interested in and knowledgeable about. This could be a favorite hobby or a favorite animal. You and the child will take on different roles for the activity. You will act as a classmate or a friend, and the child plays the role of himself. You will practice engaging in short conversation with the child. Practice taking turns and asking questions or answering questions. Over time, place the role of multiple classmates and have the child practice speaking in front of a small audience. Over time, you will introduce more challenging scenarios such as speaking louder, using more descriptive language, and maintaining eye contact. As the child becomes more comfortable with role play, you will have the child practice with actual kids and small group settings. Fifth and last, encouraging communication at home through structured activities that can provide a safe space for the child to practice speaking. For example, you can introduce communication journal to the child. You can communicate to the child that the journal can be a special place where they can share their thoughts, feelings, and ideas using both words and drawings. You can set up daily prompts or topics to engage the child in communication. For example, tell us about one thing that made you happy today. What was the most interesting thing you learned today? Draw a picture of something you'd like to do this weekend. Each day, after dinner or before bedtime, you and the child can sit down with the communication journal and take turns sharing their responses to the prompts. Don't forget, each child is unique and what works for one individual may not work for another. It is essential to consult with professionals experienced in training selective mutism, such as speech language pathologists, psychologists, and behavior therapists, to create an individualized plan that considers the child's specific needs and strengths. I hope this video helped you understand what selective mutism disorder is and how to manage it. If you have any questions, make sure you type them in the comments below and I will do my best to get back to you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.